Welcome all to Let's Get It, where we attack today's local and national hottest sports topics. I'm your host, Randy Dutkin, and let's get after it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Let's Get It. I'm your host, Randy.
You don't wait for no cue. He just
Oh, man.
right? You know what I'm saying?
He's excited.
I was excited. I was excited tonight after the Sixers victory, coming to you on a beautiful Sunday evening.
It's all good.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Hey, you're good.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Listen, we're testing out new equipment and whatnot. Howard joined us. Welcome to join us. Pretty appreciate you guys tonight. Woo.
You sound like Sirianni.
I know. I do.
He's got systems, don't he?
Let's start fresh. Welcome on to Let's Get It. I'm your host, Randy Dutkin, along with Coach Marcus Bullock and Jason Bryce, coming to you on a beautiful Sunday evening after the Sixers take game one of their series, 125-118 today, in a game that had Sixers fans a little nervous, if you ask me, in that first half. But they were able to pull away at the end. Defense was able to lead to a nice stretch there. The cushion towards the end of the game. I know that we have to give a hats off to Mr. Tobias Harris, who dropped 37 points, including 28 in the first half. He was out of his mind. Joel Embiid had 30-plus points. Seth Curry had a nice game also. Good defense by Ben Simmons. He had 13 assists also today, if I'm not mistaken.
Who, Ben?
Yeah.
Ben had 13? Okay.
15 and 15.
15 and 15,
Mhm.
okay. And that was
Is that a baby double or what?
No, that's a real double.
That's a real double. Okay.
To go along with them 6 points he had.
and the 0 for 6 from the line.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
That's troubling. In all seriousness, that's troubling.
That's really troubling. I didn't know he was that bad though. He's actually worse than Dwight.
Yeah.
That's
He
real
hasn't been.
troubling.
He hasn't been, but yeah, I was troubled by that too.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though. Like I said, I was watching the game, early on, and I think I had mentioned this before. If I say it to you guys, I said it to other people, that I thought that if there was any game that the Sixers were able to lose this series, I still think they could lose a game, but I thought game one was going to be a trap for them, and I thought it'd be a game that I could see them coming in and Wizards stealing this game. I mean, and early on, the pace. Pace of play was good. People said this is going to help the Sixers, whatnot, but the pace of play, I thought with Beal and Westbrook, it was benefiting the Wizards. Plus, the Wizards were hitting a lot of outside shots. So early on, like I said, and I don't know, something about I wanted to see the defense step up, which it did in the second half. When the fact that the Wizards went in with that 61-60 lead at the halftime, I said I don't want to see this become a game where it's a 130, 127 type game, because that's where I felt like the Sixers could have gotten to a trap of some sort. But overall, again, people have said it before, and I'll say it too. I mean, I don't think this is a game the Sixers win if Brett Brown is the head coach. I think this gets out of the Sixers' hands, and I think that you saw an impact from Doc Rivers. So, Coach, I see you smiling over there. What's your thoughts?
No, I agree with that. I didn't even think of it from that perspective. But yeah, I mean, usually in these kind of series, the game that the favored team is going to lose is either game one at home or game three, that first road game.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they got out of here with a win is great. And that's all they have to do. They just have to win games. And I know people are getting I was listening to some other people, talking to some other people, and everybody, well, they only won by 7. They gave up 118 points. You just have to win the game. Like, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
And when they were up early, then Washington came back. It's a long game. And Jay, you always say it's a game of runs. And they were able to build the cushion in when they needed to at the end of the game, and they didn't play great, and they still won the game. And I'm not going to say they won it easily, but they won the game. There was no doubt at the end who was going to win the game. So, I mean, there's still room for improvement.
Mm-hmm. I was nervous, though. I'm going to tell you, I was nervous, and here's why I was nervous, because I thought it was taking them too long to figure out how Washington wants to play. They handily were. I mean, they were taking care of business with Washington. Washington made a key substitution, and they got to figure out what to do. And I hate to even say, you're probably gonna look at me like,
no, I already know what you're gonna say.
We got to figure out Ish
Smith. Yeah.
Okay, because that's when he's in the game, we have no answer for him. Now, I think Doc tried to counter with Maxey a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But Maxey ain't really give you nothing. I don't think Shea gave you anything either. So, but when they're playing with Ish, that's a problem. They look, and every time Washington went on their run, if you look at it, Ish was in the game. I'm looking at him like, wow, like, you know what? Now, one of the key things that they did do, which I thought was good, they put Thibault on Beal.
Yes.
And that slowed him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I was nervous for a little bit. Because I'm like, yo, what the? Yeah, first of all, Doc makes terrible substitutions. Okay. He made some terrible substitutions. And I don't know, I think we were up like 10, and then we wound up going down. I'm like, yo, I mean, it was just terrible.
Well, early on, he got his hand was tied a little bit with the Embiid foul trouble. Now, I'm sorry, man. I can't stand Corky that early. Like that was when Corky was in the game early on.
Well, he is what you thought he was.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
He gave you what he's supposed to give you.
Yeah,
nothing.
I know, but it's like it was to me at that point early when you still hadn't established control of the game. I don't want to see Korkmaz on the court yet. You know, Korkmaz is going to get his minutes at times, but I thought when he was there, and of course, just chuck it up to threes. You know, and when he puts it up, it's just like me chucking up threes. You just say a prayer that maybe it goes in.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Because I mean,
he's more faithful.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, all right. Fair enough to
Burke up. Bad. Right.
Fair enough.
But I think now, you know, the game one is a game where you're going to see who's ready to play.
I give you that.
Who's not.
Yeah.
You know, I think Korkmaz played 5 minutes. Maxey played 7 minutes. Yeah. So you're just going to see what these guys have. You know, you don't know who's playoff ready, who's not. These, you know, we haven't been in this situation with a lot of these guys before.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, it's still a feeling out process. And the series are long. Even if it's a sweep, it's a long series. Yeah. You're going to change the way you play 3 or 4 times. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I think as Sixers fans, as Philadelphia, we put so much stock into every single thing that happens, which that's what fans do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But, you know, I think we have to realize it's a long series, and he's got to see. There was a point in the second half when there was not one starter on the floor, and I was like,
it was like a little, I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But I think you mentioned it, and you know, it's a feel out. So I'm happy that we won though, because I want to win those feel out games.
For sure.
It's like the Lakers and the Suns. That was a feel out game, right? LeBron and them will come back and be ready. Trust you me, they're gonna be ready. It's a little feel out game.
All right,
it happens. You know what I'm saying? But I, as a Sixer fan, but also knowing, you know, we haven't had a championship since '83, right? So
correct.
we need to enforce our will on the people, even in.
Oh, and I mean, you already got it. I mean, they already got the 1 down, 15 to go. You know, I mean, you already, and it's true. People are so invested in this team because right now, like I said, with the way the Philadelphia sports are, they are our best opportunity for the foreseeable future. You know, in every sport.
Yeah.
You know, and I know you're probably gonna. You don't want to say anything.
What about the Eagles or the Phillies?
No. I mean, the Eagles. I thought maybe like to slide something in. Okay.
I won't be baited today.
All right.
No bait Sunday. For me.
Okay. Anyway, but you know, but it's interesting. You said it. And you go back to that, and you would talk about a long series. And I was thinking about the series. Do you think they should go back to a 5-game series in the first round?
Nah.
No, you like the 7?
I like the 7-game. I think I like it more because the better team's going to win. And I think, you know, you had a couple times where that 8 seed beat the 1 seed. I think it's happened maybe 2 or 3 times, and because you can do that. But then the rest of the playoffs stink when that happens. So I think you're going to get the best product moving forward with this.
Okay.
The way
fair enough.
Now it's more fun, obviously, for that moment when that 8 seed wins or the 7 seed wins. But then the rest of the playoffs, it's like when the 15 seed wins in the NCAA tournament. Everybody's excited that night, but then they get blown out by 40 the next night. Come on, man.
I was just thought. I mean, you know, the one thing early on though, when going back to the Embiid foul trouble, Dwight Howard came in and gave you some awesome minutes. You know, and he was really all season long. I mean, I didn't realize, you know, all season that his average of 7 points and 8 boards a game, you know, off the bench. I didn't realize he'd given us that good of stats off the bench.
No, that's good.
You know, and it's just the intensity he brings, and you know, having him there when Embiid get in that foul trouble. I want to say that I said, okay, you know, the Dwight can. This is exactly what he's here for, and this is what he can provide, and he was able to provide it. Yep. So, I mean, you know, it wasn't too bad. Yeah. I mean, we go back to Tobias Harris was just out of his mind.
Nah, he was balling. He was balling, but he went from hot to cold
quickly.
I mean, he did. Like we had said, Jay, you know, prior to the show.
I kept saying, like, damn. I said, Tobias can't hit a damn thing in the second half.
No.
I mean, when we were struggling to score, Like, damn, where all them shots you was, you know, so, you know, but that you see that happen with scorers like that, those tier of scorers where they're hot in the first half and second half. And I mean, I'm not going there. I'm gonna wait on the show to go on DeRozan a little bit, but you know what I mean. But it's those tier of scorers. You know what I'm saying? You see that. So I was happy though. We needed that was what he had 26 at halftime, something like that.
They're 28 and a half.
28 and a half. We definitely needed that, man. I thought he played well. I thought Thibault, there was a key stretch where he, you know, was really, really getting up into Beal and making it tough for him. I think he blocked one of his J's or something like that. And there was another Steph Curry. He had a good, it was in the second quarter, something like that. Sixers still kind of floundering a little bit because they can't really adjust to how Ish Smith. I mean, Ish Smith is slicing, dicing, throwing alley-oops to Len and what's his name?
Gofar. Oh, Bertans.
Bertans, and then there's Gofar.
Banging threes. Yeah, I'm like, yo, he's creating for everybody, you know. So you know, but then Curry came through. He had a couple of threes, couple of this. So, you know, I saw some things. I don't want to even go to, you know, the Brett Brown thing. I'm not putting any
blame on Brett because
I don't care if you put Brett. I mean, I don't even want to mention him. I'm just like,
wow. See, I know we talked about it before. I just like to, you know,
he was 2 years after. He should have been going 2 years prior. He stayed on 2 years too long. He's the definition of you know, I like you. Even though you're not the right person for my team, but I like you.
And I think that's why he got his extra 2 years.
You know what I'm saying?
Because of what he did.
Right.
He sacrificed a lot for his career.
Sure.
Like, he'll never be a head coach again.
Right.
Because of his records, it's just awful. So he'll never get that. So I think you had to give him that opportunity to, all right, can you do it?
Yeah.
All right.
He said that would be you're right about
He won't.
He won't be a head coach.
He sacrificed his career for
the
process.
I mean, I think if you had a right situation, he might be like if you have a situation like that again. Like,
he's a tanker.
He's the tanker.
Yeah, listen, we know you went through this before.
Imagine that.
And I wouldn't be surprised
if you're the coach. We need a really bad coach.
Like, listen, Brett, we know that you suck. So, but we know how you know how to guide a shitty team. So please, you know, help us out. You know, you got the game one, like you said. That was
sad too. You know, it's sad because he'll go down like Derek Fisher. Derek Fisher will never coach again.
No,
you know what I'm saying. I'm not even sure if my man from the Knicks will coach again. What's my man name? He had the glasses and whatever. Frazier. Fizdale.
Fizdale.
Not even sure if he.
I think there's more going on with that though.
Really?
I think there's something where he. I think he did some other stuff that.
It's just kind of under the wraps or whatever.
That's what I think.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see him. You know, and it's unfortunate because you know, but you know,
Fisher's a head coach in the WNBA.
Is he? Yeah, he sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sure is. He sure is. Okay, so then I take that back then. But Brett Brown's garbage. I mean, I'm sorry about that. He's garbage.
I don't know. I mean, we got into it before. Yeah. I don't know. I always feel like I got a soft spot for Brett.
Do you? Really?
I do. I just feel like
Brett can be in the boxes while the game's going on. He can hang out.
Yeah.
I have nothing wrong with it. He's still in the area. I mean,
is he still in the area?
Yeah, because his son I know is playing AU in the area. So I know he's still in the area.
Yeah, I mean, I know Phil, who always is watching with us, he said the same thing too. He said he gave up his career so the front office could get their act together and they could get decent players. And you know, we you know, that's kind of where we're at. But like I was saying, so if there is another tank process and they say, hey, who can we pinpoint as the shitty coach? Brett Brown is the guy that knows how to run this show. You know, I mean,
garbage.
You know, listen, I think, and I know Embiid said Hinkie should be one of the guys to ring the bell during the process. I think Brett Brown should get to ring a bell.
Yeah, I mean, what are you ringing bells for? You ain't won shit yet. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
you know how they ring the bell before
every game. Keep that what it is. Don't bring back nobody. Bring them when you win the ring and give them an honorary complimentary ring. Do that. But don't bring them in and then nah. You know,
but how would you feel? How would you feel if you were Brett Brown and they said, "We appreciate what you did. You were part of this championship, and they give you a ring." Does it mean anything to you?
Yeah, I may
not want it. I may not be like,
I would take it. I mean, think about how many people get honorary doctorates.
And people get a lot of honorary rings.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll take it. Yeah,
they get a lot of guys rings.
All right,
Who rang the bell today?
It was Dikembe.
Okay, symbolism.
That was, and I was mean they can bring back players from the 01, team. I think a guy like Eric Snow should ring the bell.
That's a reach.
Yeah.
What?
Aaron McKee.
I was gonna say he's the only
Eric Snow.
No, there's nothing wrong with him, but he's not like. He doesn't get me like let's go. Like I'm not like Mutombo probably rang the bell. He probably hit him with the
but he played a decent role. I'm not saying Eric Snow didn't play.
I guess
role
you know what this goes back
on
to
that team, but he wasn't. He was like I don't know if you guys. He's like the Mark Ivoroni of the 2001. He was there, but
yeah, I can get with that.
We could have did without you too.
I guess this falls, and and this is kind of a conversation for a different day. That I always I fall in love with players that are mediocrity, players that will have their little moments. And I always get in a conversation with a buddy of mine, how I always do. Like I will always find those players and I'm always about it. I guess Eric Snow kind of falls under that.
And the Phillies have a billion of those guys.
Yes, and that's where a lot of it comes from. Yes.
They have a million.
Oh my goodness. I don't even want to get into that today. But I know for example, we both say that. For example, it was my guy before was always David Bell, like years ago. Yeah. And people were like, and my buddy was like, how do you love David Bell? I remember one game he hit a walk-off grand slam, and then my buddy lived it down.
David Bell.
Exactly. He was just a mediocre third baseman.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like I fell in love with him. And even now, like, my buddy, I say, Brad Miller, he's a solid player. He gives you something off the bench. And he's like, you'll fall in love with mediocrity.
Archie Bradley, he's mediocre.
Archie's struggling. Archie's struggling.
No, really? Of course he's struggling.
No, but I'm just saying. I definitely I fall in that mediocrity, and it's an interesting conversation for another day. But with going back to the Sixers series, we got the Game 1 victory. You got the next game is not until Wednesday night. I hate that break.
Can we talk about Ben?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, Ben's. I didn't know that Ben averages 15, 8, and 8. That's decent. I'm not saying
it's very decent.
It's decent. It's
what
decent.
I was thinking about, because I was watching yesterday. I was watching the Heat Bucks game.
Mm-hmm. That was a great game.
What is the difference, skill set wise, in Ben and Giannis?
They're very similar.
They're very similar, right?
Yeah.
Giannis is more of a big guy. Ben's more of a guard.
Yeah.
Neither of them can shoot.
Yeah.
They're both super freak athletes.
Yeah.
So why can Giannis get 38?
I think it's and this was actually one point today. But it's aggressiveness.
Yeah, it's aggressive. I think Giannis is
killer mentality.
Giannis is a little more aggressive with his girth. I think Ben. Honestly, when I was seeing, I'll be honest with you, he seems unsure.
Yeah.
At times. Yeah. He seems very unsure.
I think Giannis too. I mean, obviously, because of the role on the team, his role is score first, Ben is pass first, but at some point you want to see Ben take that step and say,
how many assists he had? Yeah, 15 times? I mean, that's great.
Listen, I'm not even getting on him about like I said, the goal is to win the game, and he did what he had to do to win the game.
Sure.
Do you think if Ben was on a team, so say that the trade happens with Harden, now Ben's in Houston with nobody, does he play differently? Do you think? I don't know. This is just something to think about.
No, I mean he may. I mean I'm trying to remember how he played. He had another guard when he was at LSU. I forget that guard. He was decent too.
Yeah, but even LSU,
but did he dominate?
No,
not dominate.
No, he didn't dominate LSU at all.
But everybody said he didn't dominate because he didn't even want to be there.
Right.
Okay.
He was just chilling.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I mean, my thing still goes back to it. Again, like there was plenty of times today I saw it where, he would, and I mean, don't get me wrong, the looks that he got and the looks that he gave that's what they're there for. He was finding Danny Green. He was finding Seth Curry. He was finding these guys wide open, Tobias. But there still was a couple of times when I was like, just take it, drive, be aggressive.
Right.
And I know, but we talk about it all the time. that he doesn't have that killer mentality. And I don't know.
It's sad too because I'm gonna tell you who has that killer mentality, and we're gonna see him tonight at 9:30. John Moran. Okay, now, he's a killer, and he has no problem coming at you. Now, Ben, I get frustrated with him. I do because he seems unsure, especially when he's on that break.
Yeah,
and it's like, yo, let's just go in. Like
it looks like sometimes he does want to take.
He had a nice putback off the dunk with the dunk. 15 dimes, made some nice passes, whatever. So I'm okay with, and his defense was there. So I'm okay with, and anytime you got Tobias scoring 30, how many Joel had?
30.
So I mean, you're coming in and you kind of being that glue of putting all the pieces together. I'm okay with that. Okay with that. We talked about it earlier a few shakes ago. I'm not okay with the free throw shooting. Like I didn't know that was that troubling. That's a troubling problem.
And I think it's even not the fact that he's missing, but now because he's missing, he's going to be even less aggressive so that he doesn't have to go to the
right. And that's exactly what I was thinking too. Yeah.
I don't know, just going back, talking about it, that Giannis will shoot before Ben, and that's where it comes down to also
for sure.
At the end of the day. And it was interesting at the end of the first quarter or the second quarter, or I forget what, Ben had that last shot. And he had it was a final three. I was like, if this went in, place would have gone nuts. If he would have hit a buzzer beater three, oh my goodness.
What is it? Is it the form?
No,
is it
he can shoot.
What is you think it must be the form?
No, if you watch
him just warm up and shoot, he makes shots.
And his form is nice. Like there's
things that you could
coach, this is your area.
No. There's things that you could tweak. It's not he doesn't look like Klay Thompson when he shoots, but he doesn't look like it's not terrible.
Yeah, but he looked like Shaq at the line.
A lot of people think he's right-handed.
Really? I'm not okay. He said
that's interesting. You say that.
A lot of people say that
because he
does everything. Grab the ball. Does everything with his right hand better.
Well, Tristan switched.
Tristan Thompson switched.
So he switched. So maybe that's something that Ben does or something. I don't know, but that's going to hinder him.
Could you imagine if he switched over to be a righty shooter and all of a sudden he's knocking down threes and jumpers and
he would get a statue the next day.
Oh, he goes left or he goes left heavy.
But he always finishes right.
But he finishes right. You're right about that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm okay. Listen, doing the intangibles, I'm okay with it. I'm just not okay with the free throw shooting. That's because these were to me, I felt like these were critical free throws, and the Sixers got lucky though.
Yeah.
That I mean, he did he make one?
No. Nope. 0 for 6 from the line.
Yeah. See, that's a problem. That's a problem for me. So, but at the same time, you know what? Listen, we got the victory, so I'm okay. I feel good, and you know what? It's all good. You know what I mean? We need, I like the 7-game series. Talked about that. Now, I don't like it in baseball, though. I'm sorry. I don't like the 5-game series in baseball in the first round. I wish that was 7 too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I wish that changed a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that too. I mean, I'd say to go back to, we talked about the Sixers, and we didn't really get to touch on it too much, so we jumped right into the Sixers, but that play-in tournament was fantastic.
It was.
And people were knocking it and saying, there's no need for it. I loved it.
It was. And tell me you didn't think that when Chef Curry hit that 3 at halftime, I was like, oh man, the Lakers gonna have to. But something was like, part of me was like, nah, it's a wrap. Golden State got this. But the other part was like, nah, I don't like the way LeBron went to the, he went to the locker. When he started doing this, you know what I'm saying? I said, oh, that's gonna be a problem. He about to give it to him in the locker room.
He does the face.
Right. And then, he starts like to me, I call it whining.
Let me tell you, LeBron is such a whiner.
But he's not such a whiner, but I mean,
he's a whiner. He's a great player. I love him, but he's a whiner.
Yeah, well, he's LeBron. He gets those calls, and you know what I mean. But
I mean, look, we're going to discuss that Suns-Lakers game a little bit, but then because I want to talk about that incident that took place. I don't know if you guys saw it, but anyway, go back to the play-in tournament.
I did see it. Yeah, but the MVP of the play-in tournament was Ja Morant.
Oh yeah. He was fantastic. And I mean, just the way that he stepped up and that
had
shot.
No answer for him.
No.
Yeah.
And he had, like you said, ice in his veins.
Oh.
And the Jazz might be in trouble because Donovan Mitchell's out this game with an ankle injury. So
they might lose. They might lose one. They might lose two. They're gonna advance. I think the biggest thing that helped Memphis was playing Golden State the last game of the regular season, because then they weren't. There was nothing new. Because guarding Curry and Draymond the way he plays, it's not like guarding any other team.
Right.
So when you had already just played them, already just prepared for them, so now you're coming right back. Yeah. You're used to it. I think that's what hurts a lot of teams a lot of the time is it's just different.
Oh yeah, you see him again, you know what to prepare for. It's like even if you face a pitcher the second time around, you know what to prepare for.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's just the play-in tournament was fun, and I found myself really making sure like I got to tune in and see this. You know,
it was great stuff.
You know, and I think the NBA now they're talking about doing like a mid-season tournament. You know, I saw there's more talk about doing that in the NBA.
What's the purpose of it?
That's what they have to figure out.
And that's what they're going to come to the table. And that's what I was trying to figure out was don't mess with a good thing. This play-in tournament at the end was a perfect addition.
It was.
It was like the extra wild card in baseball. It added a lot of interest for a lot of teams.
It did.
But what is a mid-season play-in tournament going to do for you? I just don't understand.
They were talking about different things that they could like. How do you get the players to actually care about it?
Right.
As opposed to what's the difference in playing Philly playing Washington in March and Philly playing Washington in December? Like, what's the difference in the play-in tournament? And they were trying to think of different ways to make it meaningful. And they didn't like nobody's actually proposed anything yet, but they were talking about something with like the draft or ping pong. You get more ping pong balls or different things.
But
like
are the players really going to get motivated?
But that's what I'm saying. That's what they said. Yeah. Like players don't care about the draft.
I mean, and money, okay, that's one thing. But I don't think the fans would even. I mean, they would get behind it, but I think that it was just unless it was something like I don't know if it's just something that maybe one of the seeds for the play-in tournament are locked up from the mid-season tournament.
That was another
something like that where like you can clinch a playoff spot if you win.
Yep.
Like almost like in the NCAA tournament, you win your conference, you get in the dance.
That was another thing. If you win you don't have to play in the play. You automatically move into like that 6th seed if you're 7 or 8 or whatever, something like that.
And so that's how I could see it. But again, you're going to have half of these teams. You know, most of these teams that know this is not going to matter to me.
Who's going to win the play?
What do you like for the Sixers? Like, what's it matter to them?
Right.
You know,
the teams that are going to win the play-in tournament.
Now, if you want to have a mid-season tournament, maybe what you do is you take those bottom 4 teams in each conference and let their or not bottom 4 teams, but you take the bottom 6 or 8 teams, let them play each other, and then at that point they could clinch one of the spots if they win. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't like that either.
I mean, I don't.
Now you're just messing with the integrity.
And then also
the rest of the season.
I mean, you know what? Listen, take them bottom tier teams that is out of it and make like a NIT tournament because that's.
I think you do something like that. I think like something like that would be cool to who gets the first pick.
I absolutely.
Okay, yeah. So
something like that. Like a lot of
that's
teams
fine.
instead of. I mean, I don't know who would really watch it because the playoffs will be going on at the same time. But
right,
like and
so I don't know. I think. I don't see what happened was WNBA has now adopted this mid-season thing. So now obviously the NBA has to look at it and talk about it.
Yeah, but I think it's also another way of trying to continue to promote more in the WNBA.
Yeah.
Again, the NBA doesn't have that problem.
Right.
I'll tell you one thing though, it was fun to see the fans back at the arena.
You're getting that energy.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah.
It was. You think about the playoffs last year and kind of what it looked like. Yeah, we were happy to have them, but it was. It's much different when you have the fans around.
Right. Now, who would you say the biggest disappointment of the play-in tournament? What team?
Well, we know what team you say was the biggest disappointment.
I'm going to say Charlotte. Because a lot of people thought Charlotte should have, because Charlotte was like the 8th seed until the last day.
Yeah. Okay. They got blown too, didn't they?
Yeah, it wasn't a game.
That wasn't even a game.
Badly.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
We're listening.
Yeah, DeRozan.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too many times in those spots. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's just that type of, you know what? He's no different than Playoff P. And I'll transition from DeRozan right to him. Playoff P was horrible. He was. I mean, what was he? 8th? I mean, what was he? 8 for 18. I guess that's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible. But we're talking about, your reputation, what you've been talking. Oh, people just talking about old stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what I'm saying? So, it wasn't a statement to me. Not from what, it was an average game. It was a, Tobias type of game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I see him continuing to do that same sort of stuff, in my opinion.
He'll have a big one.
You think so?
Yeah, he'll have one big one, and he'll probably put up these same kind of numbers. He'll have one big one. I still think they beat Dallas. I just think they're better. I just think they're a better team.
Yeah, but they lost.
I mean, they did,
Yeah.
But it's a feel out. So I get that too. It's a feel out.
No, and I know you talk about these feel out games, but I feel like there's certain teams, like a team like the Mavericks, a team like the Suns, these young teams, once they get that momentum, sometimes it's hard to stop that train because now they know that they. I mean, obviously, like with more so for the Mavs than you say than the Suns, but with the Mavs, they went in, they won the game on the road, they already accomplished their goal. I mean. I don't know if they can beat them in the series, but I think this series is going to be a lot tougher than the Clippers anticipated. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised to see them win game 2, honestly.
You have a 1-2 punch with Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Porzingis is playing well. Luka's playing well. And then you have, some nice pieces.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, your Hardaway Jr. is a nice piece. Brunson's a nice piece. So you have some nice pieces. I mean, you essentially could beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could really beat them a little bit. But, you have to think that Kawhi is going to not let that happen. And those other dudes did. Did Serge play?
Serge played.
Serge played and they still lost.
He wasn't himself. He's just getting back.
He's just getting back.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so you see that. I mean, I think they have a better chance than Miami. I don't like the way Butler played. I don't like the way he played at all.
They still should have won that game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
That's true.
It was,
I mean, what a shot by Chris Middleton.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, tough shot. Very, very tough.
Jimmy had that take to get him to overtime. It's like I just had flashbacks. Like, damn, he should still be here.
Yeah.
And it was funny. They were talking about that yesterday. They were like, when you watch Jimmy, as a Sixers fan, remember what it was like to have Jimmy.
But Jimmy's got problems. I heard.
Well, Jimmy started problems even before the series started.
He's starting some problems in Miami.
Yeah. So, so I mean, that carryover. I mean, the momentum obviously didn't really impact the game. The game was what it was, and it was a great one. But you're always going to have that baggage that comes with him. Yeah. But at the end of the day, the baggage is worth it because he does ball out on the floor.
Yeah. I mean, he made that shot. He made that shot. But other than that, he was what, 2 for something? 215.
I'd have to go back and look.
No, it was a terrible game. Yeah, a terrible game, and they were still in it. So that
right.
That says something. Yeah, I'll give you that. But yeah, I don't know. I think in years past, Milwaukee doesn't win games like this.
I agree with that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
that's Jrue Holiday.
Yeah. So his effect is already there. You see that.
Oh, they are. I mean, they're very, very formidable in this Eastern Conference. I mean, and I think that people are kind of downplaying them and writing them off way too early. Yeah. I know you don't really hear it from a lot of people that, I'm afraid of Milwaukee. I'm afraid of, because most people aren't, but I think we should be. Everyone always says that we got to get there and we got to face Brooklyn and beat Brooklyn in the Eastern Conference Finals, which, may not even be the matchup. We may not even get there as the Sixers when I say we. But
well, hopefully we do. Let me see what my Knicks is doing. Loving the Knicks right now, but I don't even know if what are they doing right now?
Down 3, 59-56 in the third.
Wow. Third quarter, that game's moving.
All the games are moving. I mean, it's interesting. Games moving. The NBA games just move, though. They really do.
I don't know. I fell asleep on that Sixer game. I don't know about y'all. I was a little. It got a little. I don't know. I don't know if it was dry or I don't know what it was.
They both those teams shoot a lot of foul shots.
You know what?
Okay.
I don't know. For me, I mean, to me, the announcers were, it was Marv Albert. I mean, it just kind of like he's getting stale.
Well, he's retiring. I mean,
yeah, I know.
Gosh, his last year.
I know, but still, I mean, at the end of the day, I think.
Was it Grant Hill too? Yeah, it was Marv Albert and Grant.
Yeah. You know, it was moving along, and it's just like, you know, it's funny with playoffs, like NBA games, like, you know, you have other playoff games like football or baseball or something like that. You know, it's like such a more extended out process. Next, you know, in basketball, all of a sudden you look up and it's like it's halftime,
right?
You know, so it's you know, but you know, like you said about, you know, going back to the Bucks, I think that you know. Actually, my buddy Matt, who's watching the show, he brought up a good point talking about foul shots. What did you think of some of the calls by the refs today?
I think the officiating overall, not just in the Sixers game, has been, you know, it's nobody likes it, but I think it's been consistent. Meaning, you may not like the calls, you may not agree with the calls, but it's the same calls all the time.
Yeah. But it slows. I think, and it does slow the game down. Because I mean, and some of the calls that are made, like who shot the three, and somebody shot the three, and Kuzma closed out, and they called a foul on him.
Yeah,
and then it got reversed, and then it was a jump ball. But it's like, well, why would you? I wouldn't even called it. Like, you should have had it. So sometimes it's like, you know, are these replays they're really for the referee's mistakes?
Yeah.
Right. But we spin it like we're just trying to get it right.
Well, now, you know what, it's,
you know,
everything's going to replay now, though, too. Like, just, I feel like they're going there to the scorer's table so much more than they ever did.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like all the sports, you know, like you said, from basketball to football to baseball, they're all trying to figure out how do we get the right calls, you know, but what they're doing, you know, and then at the same time they're doing that, then they're also having we want to speed the game up. We want to keep fans' attention, especially the younger fans' attention, but they're shooting themselves in the foot by having so many of these replays and by having so much of that. I mean, like, you know, guys go into the line. Okay. It's still an act. The game's still going on. Okay. He's at the free throw line. I know it's not exciting.
And that I thought that was some bullshit. The 10-second call. That was some bullshit.
On,
is that Giannis?
Giannis.
That was some bullshit.
Yeah.
That was quick as hell.
That was bad.
That was quick. It was almost as quick as, what was it? Last week he called that 3 seconds on somebody. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I agree.
3 seconds was fast as shit.
I thought the 10 seconds was bad.
10 seconds was fast.
And sometimes I feel like these internal clocks are going a little.
He was just getting into his little. I mean,
now, he takes a long time, and he's known for taking a long time. But like, I don't think you can call that right there. I think if anything, you have to pull him aside. You know, when you get a chance.
Like, next time you'll speed that up. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? That's almost like an embarrassment. Like, you try to embarrass him. Yeah. Try to shun him. Come on, man. So I agree. There was some calls. That was a terrible call, I thought. It was terrible. You know what I mean? 10 seconds, whatever. So,
well,
I don't know.
You know, like I said, I know today's game, like I said, there was a lot of fouls. But, you know, people jump on it. Of course, it's like, you know, Joel is our guy. So it's, you know, and what, you know, so if the fouls are on Joel, and if he gets in the early foul trouble, you know, we hit the panic button as Sixers fans. So even if the fouls are questionable, you know, to us, how dare we do that? How dare they get those calls? Right. Because we know, and everyone does know, that the Sixers' success rides on Joel being on the floor. Sure. I mean, that was the stat I saw early in the game. When Joe was on the floor, the Sixers were plus 13. When he was off the floor, they were minus 10. Yeah. You know, so, and he was off the floor because of the foul trouble. Yeah. So
but Doc has to figure that out, because we're going to need, we're going to have sustainability with our bench, in case some things happen as we move forward into the other rounds. We're going to have that. So we got to figure that out. Did we really get some production off the bench like that? No, we really didn't. No, we didn't. You got some defensive. I'll give it from Thibault, but you got to figure that out. Shake has been shook. I don't know what's happened to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's, you know, I was speaking with somebody. He's like, yo, he always wants to score, which is okay. I guess that's okay. But then, you know, could it come across a little selfish though, a little bit? Yeah. You know,
I mean, we didn't even talk about him. You got George Hill. He had a decent game. He had a decent game.
He did. He had a decent game. What about Danny Green? He had a decent game, right? Hit some threes.
He had 11 points. You know, he was 3 of 4 on the threes.
Yeah.
You know, but he also had one of his threes was a very big clutch three. You know, Simmons found him on the break, and at that point, it had put him up. I want to say 11 or 12. But it was that moment. No, they put them up 8 because remember it was a 5-point game. The Wizards had the turnover, and then Danny Green hit the 3. So it was a big. And like we always said with Danny Green, playoff time, we hope he hits those big 3s. So he did what he was, he's what he was brought here to do.
It's early though.
Yeah,
it's early.
Still
early.
But like you said, off this bench, we're looking at 7, 3, 10, 15, 26 points on the bench.
Yeah.
You need more than that. You need more production.
It's because when Doc makes those substitutions, then, I'm telling you, the game swung. I was like, damn, wait a minute. Damn, we come out like we coming out, and I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, wait, he made his sub. Okay, wait a minute now. Oh, slowly but surely. And Ish Smith is going off. Like Bertans is shooting 3s. I'm like, nah, I don't even know him to shoot 3s like that. You know what I mean? But who knows, man? But anyway, listen. End of the day, we got the victory.
No,
so
we did. But listen, I mean, we did get the victory.
I'm happy about that. So
we did, but at the end of the day, we know that we expect to win. We expect to win this series, and I mean, I think no more than 5 games. So you have to dissect what are we doing moving forward, because to us, like I said, to the Sixers fans, to everyone, it's let's get all the pieces in order, like you're saying with Doc, and get the pieces in order with the bench, because next round and the round after, we can't be learning on the fly. We have to know what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah, well, and they'll do their homework. They'll figure out all the different things and figure out all the different, maybe they'll bring in Sirianni, what I'm saying, and figure out all these different systems and all the different things going on. You know what I mean?
Poor Sirianni, man, getting the
that's all good. That's all good.
All right, with that said, we'll go to a quick commercial break. We come on back. We'll continue talking more NBA playoffs. You're watching Let's Get It, and we'll be right back in just a minute.
Lady T's Elegant Creations, where everything is handcrafted with love. We specialize in personal and custom-made baskets, bracelets, candles, and more. So when you're looking for that perfect gift or just need a custom arrangement, don't hesitate to contact Lady T's Elegant Creations, where everything is handcrafted with love.
For more information, please call 609-531-1756.
All right, welcome back to Let's Get It. Once again, we are discussing the Philadelphia 76ers. Big victory today, game 1, 125-118. We went through everything in that first segment, talked about the victory, talked about the adjustments we want to see the Sixers made. Obviously, there's a lot more games that went on today. One of the games I really want to get into a little bit more was the Suns and the Lakers. I know that the Suns with the victory in the game in game 1. You had LeBron and you had Anthony Davis really did not show up today. I don't know if they're playing hurt still or what. I mean, LeBron had 18, Anthony Davis only had 13. But the Suns, for a lot of this game, they were in control and they were getting under the skin. They got into the heads of the Lakers. I tell you, at the end of the game, that wasn't the end of the game. It was late in the fourth quarter. I want to say about 8-9 minutes to go. When they had the little confrontation.
Well, I
don't want to say melee, but
and see, I gotta be. You know what? I just kind of because even when I'm getting on certain things, right? I gotta be mindful now what things I say. Because Kwame Brown got everybody shook.
Oh my God, he wanted all the smoke. He wanted all the smoke.
He got everybody shook, man. So it's like, you got a teeter here and there, whatever. But I thought it was a dirty play by Chris Paul, though. I did.
I don't know. By the way, before we get into that, Phil, who's watching, says he enjoys this selection of music that you have during the
I know. I can tell he's a Ron Jeremy fan. You know what I'm saying? He said 70s porn music. I said, he likes Ron Jeremy. You know what I mean? It's
but I don't know. I thought it was. I don't know. It was. I saw what he was doing. I mean, Chris Paul and LeBron. I mean, they have a good relationship. So I don't, but when you're on the floor, it doesn't matter if you're friends or not. I don't know. I thought the fall, the aftermath of it, LeBron. That's where I was like, come on.
No, but I thought it was a dirty play though.
So you think it was
because he jumped up and while he was jumping, he boxed him out
and grabbed his arm.
Come on, that's not what you do. You don't do that.
But that had nothing to do with.
You don't do that
with the altercation.
No, the altercation after that, that was Caruso and campaign. And it was stupid. It was Kenny Smith was announcer. He said, "Oh, it looks like a losing campaign today because he's ejected out of the game."
Oh, you're talking about dude. Oh, you talking about the young boy?
Yeah.
But I'm saying he deserved to go though.
I didn't think so.
No,
okay,
I thought no. So first of all, go ahead.
You had to. He. What did he do? He did the first initial hit.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he threw the ball at him.
Yeah.
So
he fouls him.
Yeah,
it's a foul.
But that wasn't the foul. The foul was on Paul.
No.
That's the foul he was calling. He was calling the foul on Chris Paul.
When all that happened, when the initial foul, when Cameron Payne did what he did, the ball was still live.
Yes, because he had a technical foul on Alex Caruso.
There was no foul on Chris Paul.
Wait a minute.
You're talking about the same play.
Wait a minute. It's
the same play.
At the end of it, was it because that's how it all broke out.
At the foul line.
Right. So the ref call, he said, here. It stayed here because of the box out. That was the initial foul.
I think the initial foul was when Cameron Payne ran.
No, because they did not call a foul on that play.
No, I don't think that.
Because they did not call, because that was one of the gripes that LeBron had too when he was that there was no foul called. But then I'm in agreement. But may have to go back and watch. But Cameron Payne got 2 fouls at that point, and I thought he shouldn't have gotten thrown out. And also, I don't know how Montrezl Harrell didn't get thrown out.
I really thought he was gonna get thrown out because he knocked the dude down.
But he just it's so he's this is what I don't like, and it trickles down into the youth basketball now. When you get hit, these guys flop around and fly
he did
around,
not hit. He kind of
he grabbed him.
He grabbed him, but he came from the bench flying down the court. That's where the ejection should have came from.
Right.
He
was on the floor. He was in the game.
Yeah, but if you saw where he was,
he was down the court.
The young boy, he needed to go. Okay,
I don't know. I think
you don't do that.
He was made an example of because he doesn't have any credibility in the league.
You can't throw the ball at nobody, bro. I mean, that's a technical.
Yeah, a technical.
And you can't like football block somebody. That's a technical too. Like these are technicals, man. It's just not it's not hockey, man. It's just basketball here.
I didn't think he deserved. I think that if he went, Harold definitely should have went too.
Harold should have been. I thought Harold was going to get a technical, and he didn't even get one.
No,
I thought that too.
That was shocking.
Yeah.
So I thought that was shocking, yes. But everybody else, though, the initial call, though, was Chris Paul. I didn't like Chris Paul boxing him out while LeBron is jumping.
All right, so here's what happened. I just found the play-by-play. So you're right. A Chris Paul loose ball foul.
Word.
Okay.
Double technical foul on Alex Caruso and Cameron Payne.
Right.
And then another double technical on Montrezl Harrell and Cameron Payne. So
that's why Payne had to go.
Okay. That makes sense because he got 2 technicals.
But my feeling, yeah, control your emotions.
Well, I guess.
So no, that's 2 technical fouls. So he did 2 separate things. He had his issue with Caruso, so they both got teased for that.
And then he threw the ball.
He has his problem with Harrell, so he got another technical foul. So that's 2 technical fouls. Right. So I don't think what he did what he did wasn't just, all right, you're out of here. It was, you did this once, technical, this once, technical, now 2 technical.
Right.
So, I mean, I said, you thought it was a dirty play, of him jumping in. What do you think, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what Chris Paul is known for. He's known to kind of be a dirty player. I don't know why you would grab his arm at all. Like that's not a basketball play at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's just not a basketball play. So, and I just feel like I'm not saying he was trying to hurt him or anything like that, but he's trying to get every advantage he can, and I don't think that's the right way to do it.
Yeah, and a lot of people were saying, I was watching, because a lot of people posted about that, on Twitter and different things. And every time something happens, I always like to go see. People say, oh, you just got a 6-foot guy blocking out a 6'8" guy. What else is he supposed to do? Not a dirty play. So I agree with you. I think it was a little more than just that.
Yeah, it's Chris Paul.
So
Yeah, it was dirty play, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't do stuff like that, man.
but back to the game again. I mean, first of all, I love watching Devin Booker play. I absolutely love watching him play.
He broke the hell out of Caruso on. Damn. Damn.
Do you think today? Obviously, this game makes sense. It's a feel-out game, and you could tell Anthony Davis and LeBron both were taking it very easy and light today. Do you think that this game can be the momentum builder for the Suns to potentially? I don't know how far can the Suns push this series? That's what I'm trying to say.
They're going home at the end of the first round. They will not get past LA.
Okay,
They will not get past LA.
but how far can they push it? Well, I mean,
How far? What do you
Coach.
mean?
I think it's a 7-game series.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how
And
far? do you think they can-
here's the problem. Here's why I think before this game I would have said I don't know. I think the Lakers win it. I don't know now because the other guys aren't producing. So Caruso, Wes Matthews, Schroeder, KCP, they're not making their open shots. And that's what, if you go back to LeBron's teams, he's relied on that.
Yeah.
Like those guys got, and he gets them all open shots. But now those guys, when they win, those guys make shots. When you're down 3-1 in Golden State, everybody's J.R. Smith. Everybody's making shots.
Sure.
When you lose 4-1 to Golden State, guys don't make shots.
Yeah.
So I think that's, if those guys aren't making their shots, LeBron can do whatever he wants to do. And Anthony Davis, like even last year, KCP made shots.
He's got to shoot. Kuzma's got to shoot.
Right.
They got to make shots.
Yeah,
and they didn't make shots. And I think Schroeder, he played okay.
He played okay.
But he has to do a little bit more too.
Yeah.
And they'll work that out. I think it's trying to get used to the speed of Phoenix. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you first of all, you're in the desert. Shit. I mean, it's
They're
hot.
playing outside now.
No, I'm just saying though. But I mean, I'm just saying. See, I'm sure it's a different. Coming from LA. Yeah,
No, I know.
It's a little. It's similar. I'm sure because not that far, whatever. But they'll be ready come game 2.
So do you? So I know Coach says he thinks it's going to go 7 games. Do you think that the Suns get another game or 2 in the series?
I think 6.
Okay, all right. I don't know. I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for them. I know you were saying you don't like to see that because if
You don't like LeBron, do you? Do you like LeBron?
Do I like LeBron? Oh yeah, I have nothing against LeBron. I just love rooting for the new teams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Are you more LeBron or KD?
I have no like for Kevin Durant.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry.
I've never been a Kevin Durant fan.
I'm sorry. All right.
I mean, it's hard not to like LeBron.
Right.
I mean, even though, like I said before, like he's a whiner, still doesn't mean I'm not a fan of him.
Okay. That's fair.
But I don't know. I mean, like I just think that I'm rooting for him. Like in this situation, I feel like I would love to see new blood. I would love to see that almost maybe like the passing of the torch. And if they were able to upset, the Suns and then say now the Suns are the up and coming team, Devin Booker is leading his team, I don't know if it's going to happen.
With DeAndre Ayton, I mean,
He had a huge game today.
There's no passing of no torch on this one. No. There's no passing of no torch.
I don't know. I just watching LeBron play is for me is always more exciting than watching other people play.
I mean, I guess because
I think the dramatics, the greatness, you just have
you don't know what he's going to do.
You were watching. I don't know if you guys watched the game, but the whole time you were watching that game, you're like, all right, when's he going to do it?
Oh,
It's just like Steph. It doesn't matter.
You're right.
When there's Steph's down 15 with 2 minutes left. All right, here he goes.
Yep.
You still think it's going to
You
happen.
get excited because you're right. Because I know when they were down, the Lakers were down. I think it was 12 with like a minute and 45 to go, and LeBron took the ball. I said, all right, this is it. This is when LeBron's going to do it. And he hit, and he chitty, and you saw him sitting back, and he was behind the 3-point line. And you're like, here it is. He's going to hit like 2 or 3 in a row.
No, if he hits that 3 when they were down 9, and then now he got down to 6. That was the 3 he should have hit.
You are right. I mean, from an entertainment value, yes, it's better when LeBron is in.
Yep.
And the NBA, that would be their worst nightmare to have, LeBron out in the first round.
He's not going to be. Listen, LeBron. Listen, he's going to figure it out, and they're going to because what all they have to do. I got to figure out who's their best defender. KCP.
That's who they're putting on
Booker.
Yeah.
I didn't see him on Booker
Yeah,
though. I
that's
seen
not-
I seen
Well,
Caruso.
Schroeder guarded him a lot too.
Okay, and Caruso. I saw that too. They need to put. They didn't figure out the answer for him, and then somebody has to take Paul or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But they'll be there though. I'm not concerned about them. They'll be just fine.
Okay.
They'll be just fine. You know?
I don't, like I said, it's interesting talking about all these different series because, like I said, I always have this debate with my buddy about falling in love with these teams.
Mhm.
You know, team gets a win because, like, you know, going back to discuss, you know, just run through the other series real quick. Going back with the Jazz and the Grizzlies that start tonight.
Mhm.
You know, my buddy thinks that the Jazz are a complete pretender and fraud, regular season team only, and that they are. You know,
I agree.
you know. I know that we had discussed on it before, and I don't think they're going to lose to the Grizzlies necessarily in this series.
I'm gonna put my money on Ja Morant.
In the series?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's your what? Okay, so I know you think they're frauds too, and I mean, Coach, what do you think?
I mean, I don't think they're your typical 1 seed,
No,
but I still think they're a good team. I mean, they were a good team last year.
Yeah.
You think about what they did with Denver last year. That was a great series.
Yeah. It was.
So I don't think they're your typical 1 seed. I think they get past Memphis. I think they do it pretty easily. And then I think after that, they're going to be in some trouble, no matter who it is.
Memphis looked really good versus Golden State.
Excuse me, I got something in my throat here.
That's all right.
Sorry.
They looked really good. They looked really good. You know what I mean? So,
is it that or is it the Golden State just is?
That's what I'm saying. Golden State and Utah are 2 different animals.
Yeah, I mean, because
especially on the defensive end.
okay, but I still think with anybody with
there's no, you know,
with Steph and you know you're playing against great players. Anytime you play against great players, that elevates the squad from the door. So you know, I mean, you know, who on Utah is like a great player?
I think
you can go possibly Donovan, right?
I think Mike Conley's a underrated player.
That's one of the players I was going to go.
He is. He is. But I don't even think he's. What I saw, I was like, yo, listen, they all feed off Ja.
For sure.
And once Ja get going, oh man.
But here's
and
what
they D up. And here's the one thing. Matter of fact, this is it right here. They don't got shit to lose.
Oh, for sure.
No, they're playing with house money. Yeah.
Oh man, they're dangerous, yo. Dangerous.
There's a reason they don't have anything to lose.
Because they AC.
Right.
Yeah, I got you. But okay, I mean that's fair. I'm not. Nah, I'm not even. I'm not. I think I'm going with the Grizzlies, man. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I see them winning 4. I mean, I could see them maybe getting 2 games out of the series and making it being a 6-game series.
Okay.
You know, Coach, you know, you don't think so.
I'm not. No. I mean, I could 2 games. I could maybe possibly.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, I think
You're not the only one.
Who wins the night?
You're not the only one that thinks the Grizzlies can
I think
take it.
Utah wins tonight.
Yeah.
I think Utah wins tonight.
I got Memphis.
See, I think that they could.
I think
they
Memphis
can
gets busy
without Donovan Mitchell playing this game. It's just going to be big for Utah and them coming off of that victory because and you know they could take this game tonight.
Memphis is feeling as though, listen, even though Golden State is what it is, yo, we just beat Steph Curry in them. Ain't nobody was beating Steph Curry.
That's all good and well. But Utah has guys that it's not like they're just coming out there with, oh, hopefully you can win this game. They got guys that can play. Like Jordan Clarkson can get 30 on anybody.
Hell no.
That's all he does is score. Joe Ingles is probably 6th man of the year.
I give you that. I like Joe.
You know what I mean? Like, so they have guys that can play. Like, it's not.
Wait. Clarkson can get 30 on anybody.
Score. I think Jordan Clarkson can go out and score on anybody. Have you watched? You haven't watched one game.
I haven't watched him.
You haven't played one game.
I'll be honest with you. I've heard that, he's different than how he used to be.
Yeah.
That's what I heard, but I still ain't a believer, though. I'm not a believer.
So this is new for Memphis.
Sure.
It's not new for Utah.
Okay.
Well,
okay. We'll see.
Well,
I think I got Memphis tonight, though.
Okay.
I definitely got Memphis tonight.
I know you said in the series. I think the Jazz do pull that series out.
Okay.
Now, just to touch the series a little closer.
Where them Knicks at, man?
We'll see where they're at. But a series a little closer to us with the Celtics and the Nets. The Nets took care of business the other day.
Yeah, they did.
That wasn't even close.
They're just the Nets are going to be on cruise control this whole series.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think they're going to blow them out once, but they're just going
to
like that. 11-point victory, 104
they'll make sure that you know.
Yeah, I don't think I'm concerned. Now the interesting series though too with the Trailblazers and the Nuggets. You know, Portland came to play.
Well, Portland's healthy. Portland hasn't been healthy in 3 years.
Yeah, and when they're healthy, they are a contender.
They had a decent team too. Man.
They're healthy, and the big thing about this is the Nurkic and Jokic battle, because Nurkic was on Denver.
That's
and
right.
They got rid of him because they had Jokic, so they didn't need him. So he's got something to prove there. He's finally back healthy. You know, Dame's Dame, and they don't have without Jamal Murray. You know, they don't have that that guy.
And Melo is like the X factor because you have a Hall of Famer that really people have given up on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But now he's getting busy. You still got CJ. I like that.
He was getting booed.
Who, Melo?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Denver's hurt. I mean, the way he left Denver, that wasn't a good thing. But no, listen, I think that I like Portland. I like Portland a lot. You know what I mean? A lot. Damon, oh my gosh, he got busy.
Yeah, I mean, you got Jamal Murray out, and you got Campazzo in at point guard. You know,
he's got to play, man. I mean, he's got to play, man. You know what I'm saying?
Do you guys remember? I don't know who we drafted that year, but we could have had Michael Porter Jr.
Oh, well, yeah.
I forget who we drafted.
I don't even know who we drafted.
I don't even want to say who I think it is because it'll make me upset.
Oh,
well, let's look back.
When we drafted Bridges and then traded him for
Zaire
Smith.
I think you're right.
I think that's what the draft was.
I think you're right. And Michael Bridges that's the one that did
that was 2018.
That's the one that did that crazy dunk, right?
Today.
No, he did.
He had a dunk today.
Oh, I didn't even see that dunk. I'm talking about that dunk when he dunked.
Yep, that was Michael Bridges. You are correct.
Over somebody. What did he do? He came down the lane and dunk. I mean, it's a dunk that it go down in history. What did he dunk on?
I don't remember.
Yes, he do. He dunked the dude from Atlanta. Did he dunk on the dude from Atlanta? Who's the center from Atlanta? Oh, Capella?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
But you were right. You were right, Coach. He was right about that year.
Yeah. Yeah, we could have had Michael Porter Jr. Yeah.
You know, and it's funny because he had fallen too, because when he started that, you know,
he didn't play that first year.
Yep. Yeah, he had fallen in the draft. You know, and he's, you know, he's really balling out.
Yeah. No, he's tough.
You know, so I mean, you know, the playoffs are fun. I think that what the excitement about these playoffs this year is just that there are question marks in each series.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. Yeah. You know, it's not complete. And with teams like the Suns, teams like the Mavs winning their first game, it adds more intrigue and excitement.
Absolutely.
I think and I wouldn't have said this last week. I think whoever comes out of the East, because I think it's going to be one of those top 3 teams, is going to win the championship.
I like it. That means that gives us a chance.
Yeah, I think whoever, because the West, I'm just not with the Lakers not being the Lakers right now. I think those 3.
There's an opportunity.
I think those 3 teams in the East.
There's an opportunity.
I mean, and that's why people are so like going back to the Sixers and why so much of these games, and we're riding with it because we know like this is the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, this is the year that we might be able to I'm not saying steal a championship, but like if the team like the Lakers aren't playing a fire on all cylinders, we can go in there and win it.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, after today, you know, I mean, you got to remember everyone too. Tobias is not putting up 37 points a game.
No, he's not.
You know, but when he is able to do this, it gives the Sixers fans even another heightened mentality.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to my neighbor. What's up, Tony?
So,
but I tell you, listen, Damian Lillard is really a problem. That's all. I just was watching the highlights yesterday. I said, my God.
I still think he is the most underrated player in basketball.
Yeah.
I still think Steph is.
Now, one of the,
underrated?
Underrated. That's how good I think he is. I think he still doesn't get the credit that he deserves.
Well,
wow.
It's interesting.
This year, I think he's starting to get it. But before this year, I don't think he even got close to the credit he deserved.
Well, how many times he won MVP? Once?
Maybe twice.
I thought he was.
I think it's twice. I don't know.
I don't know. I can't. I don't know if he's underrated. You think?
I mean, if you was, I just feel like Damian Lillard when he's playing at his best. I mean, maybe this is too much. I think he could sometimes make an argument to be a top 5 player in the league.
I agree with that.
You know, but if you say to somebody, "Give me your top 5 players," even when Damian's not, playing at his best, I don't think he makes a lot of lists.
Well, I mean, I think to be in the top 5, I think he has to be playing at his best.
But I'm saying, yeah, but even when he's been at his best, I still think he gets overlooked. I also think that the fact that he plays out in Portland impacts
and
it.
He's never really won.
And yeah, so I mean, I think it is, that's 2 of the factors. But when he's playing, he's just, and he's a cold-blooded killer too.
Yeah, he is.
Yes.
They're tough. They're going to be a tough team. They're going to be a tough out.
Yeah.
So I give them that.
Absolutely. Now, I talked about it before. I mean, I know we had this conversation again before, but even after seeing what Steph did, and who is the MVP? Because I know they named the finalists obviously be Embiid, Joker, and Steph. Who do you think is MVP of the league?
I think it's Curry.
I still think it's Joker.
Well, I mean, Joker probably will win because I definitely is not Embiid.
No,
I don't think it's going to be him.
See, my buddy, and people, and this is a Homer Philly thing. My buddy Lee that we had on the show before, who is all Philly. He's all number of games shouldn't matter. And I said, no, when you have it has to matter. I said if Joker played 72 and Embiid played 64, 65, then it wouldn't matter. But when you're talking a 21 game difference, then and then Jamal Murray going out and is still able to keep the Nuggets afloat.
I think that's what solidified it for him.
It did
when Murray went out and they didn't miss a beat, actually got better.
Yeah,
played better. I think that's what solidified.
But I think that what Steph Curry did, he's MVP now. The more I look at it,
no, I think it's him.
Listen, you're not Steph's my top guy in the league.
Oh my gosh, the stuff he does.
I don't think he's gonna win it because of where they finished.
Right, and even outside of the playoffs.
You know what? I'm so glad that you said that, Coach, because Damian Lillard actually made comments about that when they were talking about Steph for MVP, and he said, "How come we're even having this conversation when I did the same thing?" Pretty much carried into the Portland team, and everyone said there's no way that a guy from an AC team could win the MVP. Right. And now we're making that argument that he could be MVP.
I think the difference with those two situations is before the season, Portland was expected to be a top 5-6 team.
Right.
But then everybody got hurt.
Right.
Whereas Golden State, once Clay went down, everybody checked out of Golden State.
Right.
They weren't even supposed to be close to the playoffs.
Right.
So I think that's a difference in what Dame's talking about.
Yeah.
But no, it makes sense. And I don't think you can have I don't think he should get it this year because of where they finished. But numbers wise and all that stuff, I mean, it's impressive.
Yeah, I'm okay if he gets it though.
I would love if he got it. I don't think he's going.
I'm okay with if he gets it because the stuff he did is incredible. It just was more box, as Stephen A. said, more box office. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really hearing too much what Joker does. And what does he do? You know what I'm saying? But Steph, you hear everything. You hear his stuff around the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, maybe that's the reason why I want it to be Steph or whatever, but nah, I'm going with Steffi. Steffi can get it. He can get it. He can get it from me. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%. So, I mean, it's like I said, it's probably going to be Joker, like you said, Coach. But like I said, that kind of wraps up, our NBA talk. We got the MVP talk. We got the Sixers talk. Touch base about the playoffs. I know just a little bit, we talked about and we put some posts up this week about, the Philly struggles recently, kind of getting the end the show, talk about that real quick. They lost 4 in a row up until today. They were able to win. The ace, Zach Wheeler, went out, did what he was supposed to do. A little chuckle. A little chuckle there, Coach.
Because you made sure you said the ace.
Right.
Well, no, because
you've been campaigning for him to be an ace.
Well, no, and look, but see, he's gone out, and every time he's gone out this season.
What's his record?
He's 5-2 now.
Oh,
4-2.
4-2.
That's 4-2. So he's won 4 games and he's lost 2, and
But it's when he's done. The thing is, like, he's going out like a day like today when the when the Phillies needed that ace performance, and that's what he gave you. 7 innings, 12 Ks. You know, he just goes out and does it. You know, like people were, and now all over town. And I wonder if this is getting in Aaron Nola's head because you know he's not been the pitcher that he once was. At sometimes he's been struggling.
Mm-hmm.
If
you are allowed to struggle,
no, you are
as a player,
but Aaron Nola had no competition. You know, for many years here, you know, he was the guy. And, you know, now you bring in a guy like Zach Wheeler and all of a sudden he's on the back burner and everyone's looking at Zach and saying, you know, this is the guy who's able to give us those performances that we need.
At 4-2.
You're right, but it's not all about record. And no, because I don't want to talk about that.
It's early. It's early as hell. What's Aaron Nola's record?
I'd have to go back and look. But it's not about just record. Like, Nola's not getting out of the 5th inning in a lot of his starts.
No, but actually, his last start, I mean, the last one I was teasing you about, he had, 7 innings?
That was before his last one, and his last one was a crap start.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay. What's the run scores, though? But you ain't scoring no runs.
But I was just about to say, the biggest problem right now is they're hurt. And, you know, there's no consistency.
Nola's 3 and 4.
Okay, so 3 and 4.
You know, what's his ERA?
5.
No, I think it's
3.94.
3.94.
Okay.
And you got Wheeler at 2.31. You know,
4 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay.
You know, but it's not just record wise because for years you could go back to a guy like Cole Hamels who had a record of like 10 and 11.
Right.
But his ERA was like 3.1. Right. You know, and he was dominant, but he was getting no run support. But the biggest problem with them right now is defense. I don't know, JT Realmuto, your boy Jay. I don't understand, and this is what bothered me with so many teams, or with the Phillies right now, is that, and I hate when teams in general do this. They'll keep guys. They're just resting. They're just nursing. Then instead of putting them on the DL and giving them that 10 or 12 days, they'll rest them for 4 or 5 days. Then all of a sudden they'll say, "Oh, he's not going to need a DL stint," and you see him going on a DL. When from the jump, for the most part, they probably need it. And if you have a guy, then you're wasting a roster spot because you can bring someone up if you put someone on the DL. Mm-hmm. You know, and then
they probably wanted to give him a chance. I mean, they invested all this money into him. Well, I mean, there's a lot of money they put in for him
that's even more reason to let him sit.
You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I still think that, you know, if you got you like a Ruiz, a Lieberthal, you know, somebody of that magnitude, decent at the plate, decent in the field, you know, impeccable in the field behind the plate, then, you know, you'd have other abilities to be able to fill other rosters.
Mike Lieberthal was not an impeccable catcher behind the plate. Chooch was a very good catcher behind the plate. So saying, Mike Lieberthal was an offensive catcher.
Okay, I mean, he was decent. I know he was, right. But you know, one of the biggest problems right now is we're talking about investments. Is the $330 million investment? Who has been injured and has 13 RBIs through the first 2 months of the baseball season. Well, yeah, well, he's hurt. You know what I mean?
He is hurt now. And I mean, you know, but you know, you're looking at
took a shot to the face, man.
And that was I know.
Damn. I mean, how many shots can you take to the face with a baseball and come back? I mean, damn.
Listen, I mean,
I'm just saying, like, come on, man. He's got to rest though.
That's the thing though. And with him is that again, if he needed that rest, give him the rest.
Okay.
I liked you're trying to play through it. But, I mean, because since he's been hit in the face, he's 12 for 57 with 27 strikeouts.
But,
you know.
He's got hit in the face.
I mean, I get it.
I'm saying.
No, I get it.
But, I mean, but that's what I'm saying, though, is now, you see, you've spent all your money and you've invested into your Realmuto.
But you
Harper.
You didn't spend all your money. No, there's still money that could be
so much money.
I mean, they have some type of, I'm sure, some type of money.
A ton to spend.
Well, I mean, I don't know what they really got in their pocket like that.
Well, they do because the thing is,
COVID hit everybody. There wasn't really nobody in the stands.
No, but they also spent that money. The money they spent is the money they got from the Comcast deal, because the Comcast deal was a $500 million television contract.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm saying a lot of the money they were able to spend was from that revenue.
Okay, and how much did Realmuto get?
Got 125 million.
125 million,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So and then you're paying that's like 1 year's salary for Bryce, right?
Well, I mean, Bryce is getting 30 a year, so
I'm just saying, man. Like, yo, sometimes when you start spending, you spend big on these players, but then you still have holes in other areas.
And that was, you're right.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, like Bryce is he probably is gonna get that money because he's tough. Like,
he was going to get the money.
But Real Muto, that's where I'm like, on a catcher, nah, like.
Well, I mean,
we've
had that discussion before. I mean, I had no problem with them giving him the money. I had no problem with giving him the money. I really did.
Okay, I don't know. It's just, you know what?
Because it goes.
You need a good catcher.
Right.
That's. But I don't know if you need $125 million.
But again, you got to look at it too. Like that's not. It just sounds like it because the market for catchers now has ballooned. Catchers were never a position where, if they garnered those high salaries.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why too you're saying that, that's so much money for a catcher, but it's market value.
No, I mean it's usually the catcher is what I want him to do. Catch the damn ball. Catch the ball, call the game, throw the base runners out.
Yeah.
Right? So that has to come first. And then if you give me something at the plate, that's just an added bonus.
And that you're right. Baseball has transitioned away because back in the past.
So what are you really paying Real Muto for?
Both.
Well, you're paying both. Exactly.
But which one does he do better?
No, he does them both equally as well. He's the best hitting. He's the best hitting.
So he doesn't do nothing. He doesn't do one better than the other.
He's the best hitting catcher in the game,
and he's pretty much the top defensive catcher in the game.
Might be.
It pretty much is.
I mean, it's arguable, whatever.
I'm just saying. But
pretty much a is. I don't know. Pretty much mean that there's some other people
that are in the conversation.
That are in the conversation just defensively, not hitting wise, defensively. And that's what I'm saying. Like, so why not just go and get a catcher that is good defensively, decent at the plate?
We still needed that.
No, but then now you got other money to free up for that horrible outfield that you got out there.
But you go out and get Band-Aid outfielders. Now you still have those holes, and you still have a catcher.
The problem is the field, like you said.
I mean, that's true, but I mean, the Band-Aid outfielders ain't looking at the pop fly and the shit still drop. They gonna catch it, coach.
No,
come on, man.
You're right. But
they're gonna catch it, man.
The problem at the end of the day,
they're not catching nothing.
It
was like a blooper reel. I didn't even think it was serious. Like,
which one?
Was it last week?
Oh, listen, they've been doing it recently. Their defense has been atrocious. I mean, even today I was watching the game. They ran into each other. Alec Boehm and Andrew Knapp ran into each other on the field, trying to catch a pop-up. Like, it's a disgrace. Their defense has been atrocious. The problem is, and Coach, you mentioned the key word was Band-Aids. And they, in different areas, you look like at the starting pitching staff, they Band-Aided it there, But again, and the Phillies have a tendency to do this. They've also they put stock into players that unfortunately have been injured. Like DD has been injured, and he was a guy who's been big on the offense. Segura's back, but I think it's going to be with them. And they got like I said, they got a victory today, but it's good. Their saving grace is that the NL East is not good. I still think the best team is the Atlanta Braves, and the Marlins are sneaky good, because
the Phillies garbage, though, son.
Well, no, I have no expectations. I mean, as far as them winning anything, I still think that when you're looking at a team like this, when you're investing the money, like you said, when you're not making playoffs year after year, you're also wasting away more and more good years. So I still think Dombrowski has something up his sleeve, though, before the trade deadline. But the problem is what can it? Because it's not like they have good talent in their farm system.
The farm system is terrible.
Yeah, then that's the other thing, So
and then who's gonna want to come play for the team that's performing like this, though?
Well, money talks. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have trades. The players can't control trades.
Oh, they don't have trade clauses?
Some of them do. I mean, you know, but you know,
some of the good players, because you need good players.
No trade clauses are less and less now, though.
Oh, really?
You know, I mean, guys like, you know, but there's always ways around it. I mean, there's always ways.
they just have to accept.
All I have to do is just wait it.
Yeah.
You know, and before we kind of wrap up this talk, and I talk about contracts, like I just feel like I always talk about Mike Trout's contract out in LA, and it's like, man, you know, I feel like his whole career, all it's ever going to say is, yeah, you've had great numbers, but you didn't win anything.
Well, I mean, you know, he's from Jersey, right? Millville.
Yeah, well,
so he's representing.
It was funny. I was
putting on for the state, and you know what I mean. So it's a good thing, man.
No, I know, but it's funny. I was playing in the softball tournament on Saturday, and I didn't know.
Did you get a hit?
Yeah, I got a bunch of hits.
Oh, okay. Home run?
No, I don't hit home runs. I'm not a home run hitter.
Okay, all right.
So I'm just, and I was playing. It was moonlighting for this team. They needed another guy.
Okay.
So it was fun. And the one guy we were talking about Trout, and he says to me, "Oh, well, I knew a guy who told me." I love everyone come up with these stories. Who told me that Trout told him that he was going to sign. He sent him a text message and everything, and he turned around and didn't do it. And I'm always like, I want to say
sign where? The Phillies?
Yeah, and back before, and I always just laugh when these guys are like, "Oh, I know this guy who knows a guy."
Yeah.
I want to be like, "Well, reach out to him, tell him to screenshot that text message and send it over here to you." But we'll see. Long baseball season ahead. Well, with that said, I want to just kind of get our final thoughts on the show from each one of us. Coach, you want to start off tonight?
Yeah, I can start it off. I mean, I'm just so excited about these playoffs, man. Having these games that are 4 games a day, and going into the week. So that's still what's on top of my list. Tonight's going to be a good one. We'll see what Ja can do if he can pull it out. But I don't like all the days off in between. I know they do it to make sure that every game is prime time throughout every series. I get it, but it's just. And for the Sixers, it's great because Embiid gets to rest and all that kind of stuff. But no, that's the top of my mind. Sixers, looking forward to just keep following them and really interested to see if LeBron can figure this thing out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't really get a chance to see his post-game press conference or anything, the comments that he made, so I'll get a chance to see that. Jay, what are your thoughts tonight?
Listen, shout out Kwame Brown because I'm waiting for him to drop some more stuff, yo. I've been following, and I think I just shout out to him because, hey, listen, they've been getting on him for years, myself included. Not even just like on this type of platform, just in general, like, yo, you garbage, like you garbage. And now he's like, nah. And you know what? Jalen Rose, he has an interesting way of looking at things. Can you be garbage or whatever for you've been in the NBA 10, 12 years and you made millions of dollars?
Well, yeah, and you also
that speaks volumes, though.
And you look at the way Kwame spun it. He was like, "You guys say I'm trash. You say I'm not. I didn't reach my successful of this. But I made a promise to my mother, and I said I was going to be in the NBA. I was going to buy you a home." And he's like, "I accomplished all the goals that I set out to do. Right. So you might look at me as not succeeding, but I'm not a failure in my eyes."
And I agree with that. And I think he's 100% right about that.
But no one cares about moral sob stories. We're talking about what you did on the court.
You were a bum on the basketball court.
Yeah.
And you can say you're in the league for 12 years. That's because you were the number 1 pick and you got multiple opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. But you never produced. And it's not a knock on you as a person because he's right. He did I hope my son fails the way he failed. Of course. Yeah. But that's not, and I don't think anybody's coming at him as you failed in life. No, you made it to the NBA. You're one of the best players one of the best to do something in the world. Of course you succeeded in that.
Right.
But now, in this world of these top people in the world, you were at the bottom. That's all.
Yeah. But you know what though? I don't know if let's say like Randy, I'm taking you for example, and
I'm interested in that one. Okay.
Like, and it's we've discussed this already. So we played in the game together. We played in the charity game, right?
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm just saying, right?
Yes, we played in the charity.
Right, and you didn't score.
I did not score. No.
Right. Now
He was getting his Ben Simmons.
now if I mean it's probably low, it's probably on a lower scale. But if all I did was just keep teasing you about that, it would never get on your nerves. At some point.
I mean, I think it's a much different scale.
It's a different scale.
But I think I would have.
But now, if it's on a national scale, if
you kept saying to me you're trash because you didn't score, I'd be like, no.
Everybody's saying it. Like, yo,
but like you said. When I coach, we were talking about no one's coming at you for what you did off the court. They're talking about on the court.
Or in life. Like, yeah, you're successful in life for sure. And I agree with you. Yes. I'm surprised he hasn't come out sooner.
Earlier.
Yeah. But I think he's almost missed. Like, nobody's saying you failed in life. I think that's his angle that he's taking it at. And I don't think anybody really saying that.
But see, no. And you know what? But sometimes, like when you joking on somebody, like you constantly just joke. Sometimes you kind of want to put somebody in their place, like
for sure.
like yo, check this out, yo, and that's where he was right about. He said, yo, listen, you joking on my basketball skills. Well, I joke on your life, and I can understand that to a certain extent because growing up in New York, you had to have tough skin because we used to snap. And when they snap, yo, they come for every day. Like everything. Like it's not even like, oh no, don't go there.
Right.
Nah.
Nothing was open.
Let's go in there. Right. So after a while, and then now you start hearing reports of Jordan like bullying him and embarrassing him, shaming him as a low. Imagine like as a, our son
Jordan did that to everybody.
Yeah, Jordan. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Jordan did that
but-
to Scottie Pippen.
Right, and you see what happened to Pippen, right? Pippen. I get what you're saying, but I just think that sometimes, you know what? I don't know. I feel like, yo, if you come for him, well, come for you. And Matt Barnes, you coming for him on the basketball tip, but Derek Fisher took your girl though, son.
Oh.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, it's like different. Like, it's just, you can say it's just jokes.
I have no problem with what Kwame Brown said.
He said, when did we stop joking?
Yeah, I have no problem with any of that. I'm just saying, I think he, and I agree with what you're saying. He said, "Oh, you're gonna come at me with this. What do I have to come at you about? That's what I'm gonna do."
Oh yeah,
that's what it is.
But he did. He brought it when he came back at him. Woo, man, they were shook.
I don't even think. I mean, to be honest with you, I almost feel like he might have shut down All the Smoke. I don't even know if All the Smoke survives this.
No,
I definitely think they do. I think it's the hottest podcast right now out there, and
I thought Let's Get It was the hottest podcast out there, man.
Let's Get It's up and coming.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Okay,
but no,
and Kwame Brown got the hottest podcast right now.
But I just think it's one of those things that dies in a week. Okay, because now, and Matt Barnes said this, he goes, I'm not going back and forth this anymore. This guy's trying to build up his name off of what we built. And I don't think that's true. But I'm not going back. And as soon as nobody else responds and Kwame Brown keeps going, now it's like, yo, what are you talking about?
Okay, right.
So I think it's just it's gonna die. He got his point across, but I think it's just gonna die down.
Oh.
But it's been interesting.
It was.
Oh, it's been very interesting. Oh man. But yeah, and that's the thing. He's trying to build his brand off what they do.
Right.
Oh, you know what he said? No, he know what he said? He said, what the fuck I called you and asked you to do me a favor. You came at me. And all I did was respond back. I'm like, yo, this dude's intelligent because he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
You came at me.
You want to give me a platform to grow on?
You came at me. I ain't asked you to put me on. I ain't asked no favors for you. I ain't asked to be on your coattails. You tried to play me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I came harder. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if because you're looking at like Steven Jackson and you know, I'm looking at them like somebody called you out, and it's hard for me to like shift. When I look at them, I'm gonna always think, yo, Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown.
But with Matt Barnes, everybody already knew that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't like he brought something like, it was like, yeah.
We know that happened.
Yeah. And Matt Barnes has gone into details about everything that happened.
Right.
You know, so I mean, it's. I think if anything, Steven Jackson's the one that kind of got put on blast because Matt Barnes has come back and said, "Listen, I tried to call you. You won't answer my phone. Let's figure this out."
Right.
Steven Jackson hasn't said word.
No.
Well, I mean, first of all, I always think that Steven Jackson got more credibility than Matt Barnes anyway.
Well, yeah. I mean,
as far as like his basketball game, right?
Yeah.
Like Matt Barnes was tough.
Yeah.
You know, he's tough defensively, right?
Yeah.
A little offense here and there. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think that he's in that like level of position to be dissing Kwame Brown though. Like you're not that much better. Your career hasn't been that much elevated past Kwame Brown.
Matt Barnes?
Matt Barnes.
Steven
Jackson, yes.
Yeah, I still think Matt Barnes had a much nicer career than Kwame Brown.
And Matt Barnes never said anything about Kwame Brown, to be honest.
No, he did. I thought he did say something.
No, Steven Jackson was saying everything because I forget who they were talking to.
Gilbert Arenas.
Yes, and Steven Jackson was like, "Oh yeah, Matt said this about," and he was just saying all this stuff about Kwame Brown. And Matt Barnes sitting there like, "I never said anything." Like he was joking on him.
Right.
Matt said, "I never said any of that. Like I didn't say it." Like, so like whatever. But you know, it's
yeah. So it was playing him like you know Gilbert is calling him a show pony and shit. Like nah, I come on, man. You know, and Gilbert was tough, but you was out the league early too, though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Gilbert had a better career than all of them.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, he had the best career.
Yes,
easily. Oh, easily.
Yes.
So, I mean, we'll see. I know we'll see how it continues to play out.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway, I'm looking forward to nice weather. Looking forward to just continuing to finish out the school year, bro.
Yeah. Little break in the heat too. Little break in the heat.
That's it.
So, but anything else, Jay?
Do we have a Knicks score before we get off?
103-100. Wait, yep, 103-100. Knicks up 27 seconds. Oh, damn. Nope, it's tied up. 103 with 27 seconds left.
I know that's near and dear to you.
That's like a Trae Young 3.
That's the Trae Young effect.
Oh, absolutely. But like I said, it just found out the same thing, guys. Just echoing, looking forward to the Sixers and the rest of the playoffs here. Continuing to finish out the season with the baseball team. Coming off a good win on Friday.
Oh yeah, congratulations, man.
Thank you. Kids deserved it. Played hard.
You watched the whole game?
I did. We're not going to get into that.
Okay.
On this platform, we're not going to get into that.
Yeah,
we're not going to get into that on this platform. But all I'm going to say is, coaches need to stick up for your players when they play hard. But
I
support that.
And be the voice sometimes they can't have. But and it fires your players up. But that's all I'm going to say. But we got a tough stretch. Like I said, we got Paul the 6th this week, Cherry Hill West this week. It's going to be a tough week, but we'll see what happens. Looking forward to the rest of the NBA playoffs. Phillies travel, hitting the road. Got the Marlins for 4 games. A big early series, if you ask me. But we'll see what happens. I know no series in May should be considered big, but continuing struggles, I think it should be considered big. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. When will the Ace start this series?
No, Wheeler is not. He does not pitch because he just pitched today. So
we could have got the Ace on.
I agree, man. I absolutely agree. Well, with that said, for Jason Bryce and Marcus Borg, I'm Randy Duckin. Once again, thanks for watching. Let's get it. You can always catch us on Instagram, Four Walls Foundation page. Follow us on Instagram also. We put a lot of little clips up from previous shows. Always posting on our Facebook page. You can watch us, follow us. Always appreciate all the likes, all the follows, and catch us next time.
Bye.